For those who have attended late, let me introduce Ms. Lija is working as a lecturer in commerce at GPTC Neyyatingara. She has completed a BCom degree from SN College Kollam and completed MCom degree from Department of Commerce, University of Kerala. And she has also worked as assistant professor in commerce at St. Anne's College, Angamali. She has totally 8 years teaching experience. We welcome you to today's session, ma'am. Good morning. Handing over to you, ma'am. Lija, ma'am.
First of all, a warm good morning to all of you in this session. Today we are going to start the subject non-banking financial operations. I think you have already heard about the subject in your colleges and you have already started learning the subject. Today, first of all, I would like to give you a brief introduction about this subject. That is, what are the modules you have to learn in the subject. In non-banking financial operations, you have to study 4 modules. Then first one is Indian financial and capital markets. In that module, you have to study about the concept of financial market and also the different types of financial markets. That means capital market, money market, and so on. In the second module, it deals with non-banking financial intermediaries. In that module, you have to study all about the non-banking financial companies. And the third module is services of banker and credit appraisal techniques. And in that module, you have to study the various services provided by the banker and also the various credit appraisal techniques. And in the fourth module, you have to study about the Indian financial system and also about the various types of financial instruments and also the negotiable instruments. So these are the 4 modules to be covered in this subject. So moving on to the learning outcomes of this session. After the end of this session, what are the learning outcomes expected from you? First one is to get an overall idea about the financial system. That is the structure of Indian financial system. After the end of this session, you will get an idea about the Indian financial system. Then second learning outcome expected is to know about the concept of financial markets. That is the classification of financial market, what are the components, etc. Then the third learning outcome expected is to know about the capital market, the components of capital market and so on. And the last module, and it is a very important one, it is an essay topic also, that is to understand the defects of Indian capital market and the major suggestions to improve it. So these are the 4 learning outcomes to be expected at the end of this session. Hope it is clear. Then now we can see about the structure of Indian financial system. So first of all, you should know what is a financial system. You can see it in the slide itself. The meaning is explained there. So the financial system means it is a set of activities which facilitate transfer of funds from savers to borrowers. I repeat, the financial system refers to a set of activities. It is a set of activities that facilitate what? That facilitate the transfer of funds from savers to borrowers. Here you can see the 2 types of parties. First one is saver and the second one is borrower. Then what is the meaning of saver and borrower? Saver means savers are those persons who have surplus money in their hand. Savers are the persons who have surplus money. Then borrowers are the persons who are in need of money. Borrowers are the persons who are in need of money. So there are 2 parties. First one savers and the second one borrowers. Savers are the persons who have surplus money and borrowers are the persons who are in need of money. So the financial system facilitates the transfer of funds from savers to those of investors. Means savers have surplus money and borrowers are in need of money, and the financial system facilitates the transfer of funds from savers to borrowers. സേവേഴ്സിന്റെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്നും ബോറോവേഴ്സിന്റെ കയ്യിലേക്ക് ഫണ്ടിനെ ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ചെയ്യാൻ ഫെസിലിറ്റേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് ആർ സെറ്റ് ടു ബി എ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ സിസ്റ്റം. So financial system, set of activities that facilitate the transfer of funds from savers to borrowers. Hope the concept is clear. And let me see the structure of Indian financial system. So, Indian financial system consists of four major components. They are first one financial institution, second one financial markets, third one financial instruments, and fourth one financial services. So, I repeat, the structure of financial system. The Indian financial system consists of four broad categories. They are first one financial institutions, second one financial markets, third one financial instruments, and fourth one financial services. So you can see one by one. First one financial institutions. Financial institutions are those institutions which carry out any type of financial activity. So financial institutions are of two types. First one, banking institutions, and second one, non-banking institutions. So financial institutions of two types. First one, banking institutions, and second one, non-banking institutions. Then what do you mean by banking institutions? Banking institutions are those financial institutions which carry out banking business in India. So they have to obtain a banking license from Reserve Bank of India for carrying out banking business in India. Then second, non-banking institutions. Non-banking institutions are also financial institutions, but they don't have a banking license. They can carry out some of the banking activities in India. So that is all about financial institutions. Then next, financial markets. Financial markets can be classified into two, capital market and money market. So capital market means it is the market which deals with long-term funds. Capital market means it is the market which deals with long-term funds. Then what do you mean by money market? Money market means it is the market which deals with short-term funds. So the difference between this capital market and money market is that capital market is the market that deals with long-term funds, whereas money market is the market that deals with short-term funds. Then next, financial instruments. Financial instruments are those instruments which are traded in financial markets. Financial instruments are of two types. They are capital market instruments and money market instruments. Then what is capital market instrument? Capital market instruments are those instruments which are traded in capital market. For example, share. Share is a capital market instrument. Then debenture, it is a capital market instrument. These are all traded in capital market, and so they are called capital market instruments. Then money market instruments are those instruments that are traded in money market. For example, commercial paper, it is a money market instrument. Then certificate of deposit, it is a money market instrument. Treasury bill, it is a money market instrument. These are all traded in money market only, so they are called money market instruments. So financial instruments are of two types, capital market instruments and money market instruments. You will learn about more in your fourth module. Then next is financial services. So the last segment of Indian financial system is financial services. Financial services are any activity that facilitate financial transactions. There are so many financial services. I have quoted only two financial services here, that is venture capital and merchant banking. There are so many financial services are there, like factoring, leasing, forfeiting, mutual funds, etc. So let me brief. That is, Indian financial system can be classified into four components. They are financial institutions, second, financial markets, then financial instruments, and last one, financial services. So this is all about the structure of Indian financial system. Then moving on to our topic. Today I am taking the topic first section of the first. That is, let me start with the concept of financial market. So what is a financial market? A financial market is a market for the exchange of financial assets. So what is a financial market? It is a market for the exchange of financial assets. So, in simple terms, what is a market? A market is a meeting place for buyers and sellers. It is a meeting place for buyers and sellers. Here they join together or they come together for the exchange of goods and services. Likewise, a financial market is a market for the exchange of financial assets. Here, financial assets are traded. So, it is a market for the exchange of financial assets. Then, what do you mean by these financial assets? Financial assets are those assets that can be converted into cash easily. They are the most liquid assets. They can be converted into cash easily. Then share is an example for financial asset. Debenture, bonds, these are all examples of financial assets. So financial market is a market for the exchange of financial assets. And the financial market act as an intermediary between the two parties that we already discussed at the time of meaning of this financial system. Then financial market is an intermediary between the two parties, that is the savers and the borrowers. Savers are, I already told, savers are the persons who have surplus money with them, and borrowers are the persons who are in need of money. So the financial market acts as an intermediary between the savers and the borrowers. So hope the concept is clear to you. Financial market is a market for the exchange of financial assets such as shares, debentures, bonds, etc. Then next, you have to study a definition of financial market. There are so many definitions. I have quoted the definition of Brigham Eugene here. According to Brigham Eugene, financial market is the place. It is the place where people and organizations wanting to borrow money are brought together with those having surplus funds. So the meaning, I hope the meaning is clear. Financial market is a place here people who are wanting to borrow money. That means people who are in need of money. They are brought together with those having surplus funds. That means it is the meeting place of two parties, the savers and the borrowers. That is the definition. Then again, financial markets may be of two types. That is an organized market or an unorganized market. Financial markets may be organized market or unorganized market. We are always talking about the organized market only, but there is an unorganized sector also. Let me discuss about that two concepts. Then first one, organized market. An organized market means it is a recognized and formal market. Formal market means that market is characterized by the rules and regulations framed by the government, and that market is under the control of a market regulator. They have to, the market players have to obey the rules and regulations framed by the government, or there may be a market regulator. It is an organized market. But whereas in the case of an unorganized market, it is an informal arrangement of people. There is no market regulator, there is no government rules and regulations. Then private money lender or private chit business is an example for an unorganized market. In the unorganized market, there is no rules and regulations, there is no standardized procedures, there is no market regulators. They have to carry out their own business. So the financial markets, there are two types, two segments, organized sector and unorganized sector. And we are always talking about the organized sector only, but there is an unorganized sector also. Then next, we are moving on to the top classification of financial markets. So we can you see the classification? So financial market can be broadly classified into two, that is capital market and money market. Then capital market can again be classified into two, that is industrial securities market and government securities market. I repeat the classification again. Financial market can be classified into two. First one, capital market, and second one, money market. Then capital market can again be classified into two. First one, industrial securities market, and second, government securities market. So let me discuss in detail about the capital market. Capital market is the market where Long-term funds are borrowed and lent. So capital market is
Dija Miss,
market that
Dija
deals with.
Miss,
Hello.
Miss, there is a
Okay.
question. Students asking difference between
Uh,
banking and non-banking financial institution.
Okay. Okay. So I have already told that financial institutions can be classified into two: is banking institutions and non-banking. They carry out banking activities. They have to obtain a license from Reserve Bank of India for doing this banking business in India. Whereas in the case of non-banking financial institutions, they are doing certain types of banking activities, but they are not a full-fledged bank. They do not have a banking license from RBI. They can carry out some of the banking activities, but they cannot carry out all the banking activities. For example, State Bank of India, it is a banking financial institution. It can carry out all the banking activities, but whereas in the case of Muthoot Finance, it is a non-banking financial institution. It is not a bank. It does not carry a banking license from RBI.
Okay,
Hope
Miss.
the doubt is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. You
So,
can continue. You can continue.
okay, okay, okay. Then let me discuss the meaning of capital market. Capital market as I already told, that it is a market that deals with long-term funds. And here, in the case of capital market, it is fully under the control of SEBI. SEBI means Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI is the market regulator of capital market regulator is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, and the capital market functions under the supervision of SEBI. So capital market is a market that deals with long-term funds. Then here I got a definition. Capital market is defined as the market for borrowing and lending long-term capital funds required by business enterprises. It is a very simple definition. Then um, next is the classification of capital market. Capital market can be classified into two, that is industrial securities market and second government securities market. So capital market can be classified into two, industrial securities market and government securities market. Then what is industrial securities market? So industrial securities market means it is the market which deals with the securities issued by companies. Company means it can be an existing company or it can be a new company. So industrial securities market deals with the securities issued by companies. Securities issued by companies. It can be a new company or it can be an existing company. Then what is government securities market? As the name indicates, government securities are the securities issued by central government or state government. And the government securities market is the market that deals with government securities. So capital market can be classified into two. First one, industrial securities market, and second one, government securities market. Industrial securities market deals with the securities issued by companies, and government securities market deals with the securities issued by government. Of the classification is clear. offer. So primary market is the market which deals with the fresh issue of securities. When a company is issuing shares at the first time, it is called initial public offer, and the market is called primary market. Then next segment, secondary market. Secondary market means it deals with the trading of existing securities, and it is termed as stock exchange or stock market. Have you heard the term stock exchange? Stock exchange means it is the market where trading of existing securities take place. So industrial securities market can be classified into two: primary market and secondary market. Primary market deals with the issue of fresh shares. When a company is offering shares at the first time, that market is called the primary market. And secondary market is the market that deals with the trading of existing securities. Then next, we are moving on to the topic features of financial market. We have already discussed the meaning of financial market and its definition and its classification. Next, we are going to discuss about features of financial markets. So first feature of financial market is price determination. Financial market helps in the determination of price of securities. So we all know that for the determination of price of a commodity, two factors determine the price of a commodity. That is, first factor demand and the second factor is supply. So demand and supply are the two factors which helps in the fixation of price of a commodity. Likewise, here the price of the securities or price of the financial instruments are fixed by the demand and supply forces in the market. So financial market is a meeting place for two parties. That is, financial market is the meeting place of savers and borrowers. They come together and they transfer their funds. So there is a supply of fund and there is a demand for funds. Here savers are the suppliers and the borrowers are the persons who are in need of money. So there is a demand for money and there is supply of money. So these two factors are playing here. There is a demand factor and there is a supply factor. So financial market helps in the determination of price. Price determination is the first feature of financial market. Hope the point is clear. Then the next feature is mobilization of savings. So financial market helps in the mobilization of savings. So financial market, sometimes money remains idle in the hands of some people. So that money remains idle, that contributes nothing. So financial market helps in the mobilization of this money. It helps in the transfer of this money from the savers to the borrowers. Here the borrowers can invest those money in productive purposes and there is mobilization of savings. So financial market helps in the mobilization of savings. Then next, ensures liquidity. So again, another feature of financial market is financial market ensures liquidity. Liquidity means that can be converted into cash very easily. All the financial assets are highly liquid. They can be converted into cash very easily. So the financial market helps in converting the financial assets into cash very easily. So we can say that financial market ensures liquidity. The next feature of financial market is financial market saves time and money. Financial market helps in saving our time and also in saving our money. And financial market act as a platform. It is a platform where the people can join together. The buyers and sellers can join together and they can carry out business. So since it is a meeting place for the buyers and sellers, it saves the time and money those parties. It saves the time and money of the buyers and sellers. Financial market also helps in lowering unemployment. How the financial market helps in lowering unemployment? Financial market helps in lowering unemployment by creating job opportunities. So in the case of financial market, there are so many investors. They invest fund in productive purposes and thereby creating so many job opportunities and thereby financial market helps in lowering the unemployment. Then strict regulations. Again, another feature of financial market is strict regulations. In the case of financial market, there are strict rules and regulations, and financial market is controlled by market regulators. So these are the features of financial markets. So next, we are moving on to the last topic, defects in Indian capital market and suggestions for improvement in Indian capital market. So first of all, let me see the defects in Indian capital market. Indian capital market is faced by so many defects are there. So many defects are there. First one is multiplicity of administration. The first defect faced by Indian capital market is the multiplicity of administration. That means there is no centralized authority for controlling the activities of Indian capital market.
ലിജ മാം
Hello.
സ്ലൈഡ്സ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, ചേഞ്ച്
Okay.
ആവുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളത്. ഓക്കെ,
Sorry, ma'am. എന്താണ്?
സ്ലൈഡ്സ് ചേഞ്ച് ആവുന്നില്ല എന്ന്. ഇപ്പം മൊബിലൈസേഷൻ ഓഫ് സേവിങ്സ് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞായിരുന്നല്ലോ.
ഓക്കെ
അപ്പോൾ ഓക്കെ
ഓക്കെ ഇപ്പം മൾട്ടിപ്ലിസിറ്റി ഓഫ് അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ആണ് ഞാൻ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. റിവ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? മൾട്ടിപ്ലിസിറ്റി ഓഫ് അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേഷൻ
ഇല്ല, അല്ല, മൊബിലൈസേഷൻ ഓഫ് സേവിങ്സ് കിടക്കുന്നത്.
Can you see this slide, effects in Indian capital market? Hello.
മിസ്സേ ഇല്ല. യെസ്, ഓക്കെ മിസ്. ഓക്കെ തോന്നുന്നു.
Okay. Okay, let me discuss the defects in Indian capital market. First defect is multiplicity of administration. That is, in Indian capital market, there is no centralized authority for controlling the activities of Indian capital market. Before the establishment of SEBI, there is no centralized authority for controlling the activities of Indian capital market. That is a major defect faced by the Indian capital market. That is multiplicity of administration. So many administrators are there. So many parties are controlling the activities of this capital market. There is no central authority for controlling the activities of Indian capital market. That is the first defect faced by Indian capital market. Then second, fraudulent and unfair trade practices. The next defect faced by Indian capital market is fraudulent and unfair trade practices. So fraudulent activities take place in Indian capital market. For example, manipulation of the price of securities. Sometimes the brokers manipulate the market price of securities. They are making misleading statements to the investors. All activities are taking place in this Indian capital market. That is, fraudulent and unfair trade practices are taking place in the Indian capital market. It is the second defect faced by Indian capital market. Then next, poor disclosure in prospectus. Again, another defect faced by Indian capital market is poor disclosure in prospectus. So, what is prospectus? Prospectus means it is a legal document issued by the companies when they are offering shares for sale. When a company is offering securities for sale, the company should issue a prospectus. That prospectus should contain all information about the company. The company should disclose each and every information to the investors. Then sometimes the company makes a poor disclosure in their prospectus. Company is not disclosing each and every aspects of that company. In such cases, investors get misled. So there is poor disclosure in the prospectus, and prospectus, since it is a public document, the company should disclose every aspect relating to the company in that prospectus, and sometimes the company does not make the proper disclosure in the prospectus. It is again another defect faced by Indian capital market. Then next is no prohibition of insider trading. Again, another major defect faced by Indian capital market is no prohibition of insider trading. Then there is a new term, insider trading. What is this insider trading? Insider trading means it is the trading of securities by those persons who are in some way connected to the company. I repeat, insider trading means it is the trading of securities by some persons who are in some way connected to the company. Who are in some way connected to the company. That person, can be a board of director of the company who has access to the price sensitive information of the company. So insider trading means it is the trading of securities by those persons who are in some way connected with the company. So they can freely carry out trading activities of that company. So there is no prohibition of insider trading. Actually, this insider trading that is to be prohibited, but there is no prohibition of insider trading, and it is the major defect faced by Indian capital market. Then next, absence of proper control over brokers. So in the case of Indian capital market, brokers are the major players. Indian capital market is dominated by brokers and there is no control over the activities of those brokers. It is a major defect faced by Indian capital market. Then next, high cost of transactions. In the Indian capital market, the cost of transactions are very high because there is so many intermediaries, so many brokers are there. So the cost of transaction, the investors have to pay brokerage fees to them. So the cost of transactions are very high, and there is the absence of a well-regulated system. Well-regulated rules and regulations are not there, and there is not a market regulator. Because of all of these factors, there is high cost of transactions. The next major defect faced is the passive role of public financial institutions. The passive role of public financial institutions. So the public financial institutions play a passive role. Passive role means there is no inspection. There is no inspection is to be carried out in the stock exchange activities, and they doesn't invest any fund into capital market. So the public financial institutions, they play a passive role in checking the malpractices in the capital market. It is again another defect. Then unofficial trade in primary market. We have already discussed about the primary market, and there exists an unofficial trade in primary market. So primary market means it is the first time the company is offering shares to the public. So since the company is offering shares at the first time, company have to carry out certain procedures. There are certain procedures for making this initial public offer. But in the case of sometimes the company uh, does not make this type of procedures, and there exists an unofficial trade in this primary market. So it is the other defect faced by Indian capital market. So these are the major defects faced by Indian capital market. Then there are certain suggestions. There are certain suggestions for the improvement in Indian capital market. So let me see what are the suggestions to improve this Indian capital market. We have already seen that there are so many defects in Indian capital market and how to overcome all these defects. Then the first measure we can take is to introduce an automated trading system. We can introduce an automated trading system. Automated trading system means it is a fully computerized system. In the case of automated trading system, we can control the price manipulation. So price manipulation is the major defect faced by Indian capital market. So by introducing an automated trading system, this price manipulation can be eliminated, and thereby we can ensure discipline among the stock exchange activities. So the introduction of an automated trading system is a good suggestion for making improvement in Indian capital market. Automated trading system means it is a fully computerized system, and it helps in avoiding manipulation of share prices. Then next, disclosure of information. So second suggestion for improvement is disclosure of information. That means the company should, the listed companies means those companies which are listed in Indian stock exchange. So the listed companies, they have to publish their annual reports with proper information. The listed companies, they are required to publish their annual reports with actual information, and thereby they can ensure the interest of the investors. So the next suggestion for improvement of Indian capital market is to disclose the information. They can disclose the proper information about their company in their annual reports. Then next, supervision of stock market operations. So the third suggestion for improvement is supervision of stock market operations. For making the supervision of stock market operations, Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI was set up as an administrative body to regulate the activities of stock exchange and also to regulate the activities of those stock brokers and thereby protect the interest of the investors. So, supervision of stock market operations is again another suggestion for improvement of Indian capital market. For this purpose, SEBI was set up. SEBI is an administrative body set up in 1982 to control and regulate the activities of stock exchange and to regulate the activities of stockbrokers and thereby protecting the interest of the investors. Then next, regulation of intermediaries. Another suggestion is to regulate the intermediaries. Intermediaries are the persons such as brokers, sub-brokers, etc. So, strict control should be exercised over these intermediaries. So, intermediaries, brokers and sub-brokers, etc. They have to be proper control should be exercised over these brokers and sub-brokers and thereby protect the interest of the investors. And also the brokers and the sub-brokers, they have to register with SEBI and they have to obtain a license from SEBI. Then only they can carry out business in this stock market. So regulation of intermediaries. Then next, prohibition of insider trading. Insider trading should be strictly prohibited. So a proper surveillance system should be made and the insider trading activity should be strictly prohibited. So insider trading, you all know what is insider trading. Insiders are the persons who have access to the personal or price sensitive information of the company, and by using this price sensitive information, they are trading in the stock exchange. So insider trading, that is to be strictly prohibited. Then next, to protect investors' interest. Again, another suggestion is to protect the investors' interest. So instruction should be given to the stock exchanges to take action for proper redressal of the grievances of investors. If the investors have any type of complaints, any type of grievances, that should be properly addressed. So to protect the investors' interest. Then promotional measures. Again, another suggestion for improvement is the promotional measures. So public sector undertakings. So more public sector undertakings and other financial institutions, they can come to the capital market and they can make investment in the capital market. For example, Life Insurance Corporation of India, Unit Trust of India, then certain other development banks such as ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, then IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, then SFC, State Financial Corporation. All these public sector financial institutions, they can come to the capital market, they can contribute funds to the capital market, and thereby they promote the capital market. So these types of promotional measures can be included in the capital market, and by including all those promotional measures, we can improve the capital market. Then last suggestion is the setting up of credit rating agencies. For making an improvement in the capital market, certain credit rating agencies can be set up. Credit rating agency means it is a company, it is a financial institution which assigns various credit rating to companies. This credit rating indicates a company's ability to pay back the debt. So by watching this credit rating given to a particular company, an investor can make investment in the shares of that company. So credit rating indicates a company's ability to pay back its debt. So credit rating, which helps the investors to select those companies which have a good credit rating. So setting up of more and more credit rating agents to rank the companies, it is again another suggestion for improvement of Indian capital market. So these are the various suggestions for improvement in Indian capital market.
Okay.
So Indian capital.
There
Okay,
are
okay.
two questions. One is, what is
Huh.
the main difference between capital and money markets?
Okay. We have already discussed that capital market is the market that deals with long-term funds, whereas money market is the market that deals with short-term funds. That is the basic difference. Capital market is the market that deals with long-term funds, and money market is the market that deals with short-term funds. In capital market, we trade capital market instruments such as shares, debentures, bonds, etc. In money market, we trade money market instruments such as commercial papers, certificate of deposits, treasury bills, etc. The basic difference is that capital market is the market for long-term funds and money market is the market for very short-term funds.
And
Hope
Miss,
the difference is
yes,
clear.
it's clear, ma'am. What is
Okay.
insider trading? What is insider trading?
Insider trading. So, insider means insider is the person who has access to the price sensitive information of a company. For example, a board of director of a company, he has access to the price sensitive information of the company, and by knowing this information, he is trading on the shares of that company itself. It is to be prohibited. It is illegal. Insider trading means a person who has access to the price sensitive information of the company. That person carry out share trading of that particular company. Insider trading means it is the trading of shares by those persons who have access to the price sensitive information of the company.
Okay, thank you.
Hope clear. Okay.
ഓക്കെ രാഖി ഞാനൊന്ന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്.
Okay, okay.
താങ്ക് യു. കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ, സെഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ. താങ്ക് യു ലിജ മിസ്
Ah,
for your
okay.
presentation and presentation. You have done it well. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 Thank you all.
Thank you to all the participants and faculty who have attended today's non-banking financial operation classes taken by Ms. Lija V. She is the lecturer in commerce at GPTC, Neyatingara. Thank you to all. We are ending the meeting.